Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Booth, episode 7. Woo! Yes. As you can see, we're a little switched up here because this man right here is going to take it. So it's all you, bro. Here we go.
I feel honored. That's why this big intro was for me.
Yes.
No, episode 7. I think we spoke on it last episode about most people quitting here and not making it. So big milestone, great number. We're happy to be here. So let's kick it off. What is up, everybody, and welcome back to the Booth. Tonight, I will be your host, Justin Bofshever, and alongside me are my co-hosts, CJ Boothe and Matt Barran.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
And I hear someone special somewhere.
Oh, yeah. Very special. Audience. Very special.
So how have you guys been? What have you been up to lately? Haven't been talked in like a little while.
Dude, my life has been crazy. I don't know if you guys saw the YouTube video I just put out.
I saw it.
You saw it.
Loved it.
I want to say I saw it, but I have been working nonstop.
You gotta watch it.
I'm sorry, I haven't seen it yet.
It was so inspirational.
It's all good, bro. I finally decided that I'm making a change in my life. You know, I've been doing something for the past couple years that, like, honestly, you know, it's been bringing money, but I'm not happy. I wake up every single morning, absolutely like every single morning I wake up and I go, fuck, here we go again. And that's a problem. Like that's a problem. I hate what I'm doing. I hate it. And my dream has always to be a YouTuber. Like that's what's my dream since 2013, 2015, like somewhere around there. Like
You've been putting out content forever.
So much content. Yeah. But the thing was, I was never consistent with it because I was always going towards the safer options, like hockey. Because hockey seemed like it was going to be something big for me one day. Then I came across this landscaping business, and it seemed like that would be my avenue to make a lot of money. But you know, like we talk honestly. Yeah, you know what? I've been making money, but I'm not happy with what I'm doing.
For sure. And to the point we always talk about, does money buy happiness?
Yeah, seriously. And honestly, after this decision, I'm starting to see that, like, fuck, no.
Yeah. Well, man, like I said, I haven't seen the episode yet. I'm gonna check it out, but I'm happy that you're starting a new path. That you're, obviously you've been posting on YouTube.
Yep.
We post on the podcast, so like.
Yep.
You're living that life. Just keep living it, and I'm glad to see you recognizing it. So
Thank
I gotta
you,
watch the video.
Yeah, you're starting to stay more consistent with YouTube videos.
Yeah.
It's feeling good though.
Yeah, you've been juggling a lot, so.
Yeah.
For those of you who aren't following our host CJ's Universe on YouTube as well.
No, co-host.
Our
co-host. You better be following. What
So,
about you, Matt? What have you been up to?
Just working. Trying to figure out what I want to do with my life, you know, how everything is like right now. Just everything going on. Just trying to figure out what I want to do, but it's basically it.
It's a constant. I think that's what everyone's doing.
Yeah.
yeah, and then another thing really quick, the room.
Yeah.
The room has changed.
I was going to say, has anyone noticed a difference yet? Hopefully they've dropped a comment before now, but the room is switched up on you guys. Episode 7.
Yeah.
Spot the differences.
Yeah, seriously. And if you can somehow see this corner by where I'm sitting, there's something very interesting that we're going to be putting here, so get ready.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
And if you can't see, then what are you doing not watching the YouTube videos?
Exactly.
Like, you can see so much more cool stuff, so you better be watching our YouTube video.
Go listen and then watch it.
Exactly.
There you go.
So, yeah, I mean, I'm glad you guys are doing awesome.
What about you? What have you been up to? Nobody asked you.
Man, that's a great point. I have been working a lot, and this is going to be posted Thursday of this week, right? Like the 30th or whatever. So I can openly talk. Kayla and I's anniversary is on Tuesday, the 27th, and I have been designing a book. Like, man, it's been taking forever. But basically, we're going to Orlando, and I have been working nonstop because I'm taking the weekend off. I'm taking 4 days off. So I have been working nonstop, and I'm just excited to take a little vacation coming up here. But
dude, you should have a lot of fun. I wish I was going.
I'm happy. She has no idea, so we can actually be listening to this on our way to Orlando right now. We're going to Disney.
So say what's up to her.
Yeah, what's up? We should, if I planned everything right, be on our way right now to Disney listening to this in the car.
Yeah, have fun.
Maybe this is how you break it to her that you're going.
Yeah.
I'll break it to her Tuesday, but what about that? Let's take a drive. Let's take a really long drive and listen to the podcast. Yeah. Pack some bags. It's going to be about 4 days long.
And put this blindfold on.
Oh, man. But yeah. Hey, if everyone's doing good, I mean, I think let's get to the subject here.
I can't wait.
We've had a very special guest we've been talking about. We got someone special coming on today. So I would like to get into it. Today, I have the honor of introducing you guys to someone that I have known my whole life. A person that has guided me and taught me just about everything I know. In his youth, he was a baseball player, a rugby player, and a bodybuilder who worked his way through 8 years of school to become one of the most recognized chiropractors in South Florida. He's a 32nd degree Master Mason with a wealth of knowledge and compassion. He has encountered adversity time after time and continues to persevere. A man who wakes up at 5 a.m. every day just to read and journal before the sun can even rise. This man is not only an inspiration, but a constant reminder on how to be a good person. Without any further ado, it is my privilege to introduce you all to my father, Harley Bofshever.
Let's go!
Wow, that was one heck of an introduction.
Oh man, I got chills reading that one myself. Wow. I did not want to mess that up.
That's probably the nicest thing you ever said to me. So that was great.
You deserve an intro like that.
Wow. Seriously.
But it is really an honor to have you out here, and to honestly every day to be able to speak with you openly. So
seriously,
thank you for coming out tonight under not the most best circumstances on preparation, but it is great to have you here, and I hope you are happy to be here.
I'm thrilled. This is and for me, just knowing you two, well, you your whole life, but I've known you
pretty much. Well, a majority of my life.
Majority of your life. I mean, I think I was tying your skates for you in youth hockey, and to see you here doing this and living out your dreams and going through what you've gone through and knowing your family history and being there for all of it. I'm sitting over here waiting for the intro. I'm just like in tears, emotionally watching the two of you with your friendship and how great you guys are doing and living your dream. It's beautiful. And the direction you're going, I know how proud your pops would be of you.
Thank you.
So,
he's watching up there. He's happy.
He's right in the room with you, man. I promise you he's here. Heck yeah, he is.
Anytime you see
Make
me,
sure I don't do anything dumb.
Anytime you see me talking too much, that's him taking over and just
rambling
on, man.
I love it. So how have you been? I mean, I feel like not to toot my own horn, I gave a good intro about you, but is there anything you can throw in there that you want to, that I missed, that you can say about yourself for the viewers that don't already know you?
Wow, no, you gave a pretty good introduction. I guess I like to define myself as first trying to be a good father to my three kids and be there for them along the way and be there with unconditional love. And I think that's something that's missing in the world today, not just from the parent to the child. Mm-hmm. I think too many parents are looking to be like this ruler in the house and authoritative rather than almost having a little bit of a friendship, but not a total friendship, still having that separation there.
I feel like it's like you always say, like it's a leader, not a boss.
Absolutely.
Like you're a role model, not a parent. Like people are always like, oh, like you have it so easy, like your parents let you do whatever you want, and it's like, and it's not that you let me do whatever I want, but you guide me and give me the knowledge on what to do, and you don't demand that I do it. And if I'm going to make those mistakes, I know that I'm at least going to make those mistakes under your roof, and you'll be there to help me.
Absolutely.
and at least that's how we're open about that.
I've been through a lot in my life. I've like everybody at my age, I've had a good past. I grew up in South Florida in the 80s, and it was a fun time. So anything you guys are thinking of doing and trying, I've been there, done it,
I remember those stories. I remember.
That's the After Hours podcast.
Yeah, I don't think that's the way the podcast is going, but it was a result of doing those fun things I did and those crazy things during those times that made me become the person that I am today. And I told you guys those stories not so you do them, so you learn not to do those things. And I grew from all those and became a better person. So I just try every day to just be a little bit better than I was yesterday and spread some love and compassion in the world the best I can.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Awesome, yeah.
And
me too.
I would say to your first point, like I said, you're doing well on the parenting, I think. Unless I'm a complete screw up. And then I hope everyone listening to this podcast I pray for you.
It sounds like you guys have a good connection, so.
Yeah, it's like we're like best friends always,
Yeah.
So it's definitely an open connection. So.
But you hit it before, boss and leader, and I think even as a business owner chiropractically, so many people don't really know the big difference. The boss is sitting in the chair behind cracking a whip. Pull the cart and the leader's out in front, the number one guy, bringing the troops into battle and leading people. And leading by example.
You don't follow.
Absolutely. Get up at 5 in the morning and start going.
Yeah. So let's talk about that, because obviously living with you, that is fairly new. I would say that's been going on for maybe the last year or so. But why Nico did that? We have people that wake up early, and I'm not saying why in like a bad way, but why? What's your why for doing this?
Are you a morning person?
No, well, I am now. Okay. And that's really neat that you say that, because my whole life I've been a nighttime person. I always slept till 9, and if I had to be in fact, I made my hours one year. I didn't start till 10, because I'm like, the heck with this. I'm going to sleep till 9:15. Roll out of bed, pop in the shower, grab some coffee, and just go.
That's my problem. I'm a nighttime person.
And then recently, I started studying like ancient philosophy, Stoicism, Taoism, and these things, and I started realizing a very important thing in them. It was a phrase called memento mori, and it basically means, in a nutshell, you could die at any moment. And it made me realize that not only is tomorrow not promised, the next second's not promised. So for me, I get up early. I get a chance to be part of the planet and really kind of like get in touch with nature before anyone else is up. And it's a chance, no cell phone, no electronics, no offense, no kids, nobody asking me to do anything for them, no patients texting me. And I just grab a cup of coffee, I sit out on the patio, and I just listen to nature or just kind of get in tune. And then I'll go journal for a while, read, and it's a time of the day just for me to get my mind straight for the day. And then I'll jump in a cold shower, which I started with you, and that has been a huge change in my life too, believe it or not.
Was he the one that got you on the cold showers?
I freaking hate them with a passion still.
He was the biggest
Absolutely
doubter.
hated the cold shower, still despise it, but do the cold shower. It is life-changing.
Have you been taking it?
I'm a fucking contradiction.
No, he's not going to take it. I'm here, and he's screaming from the bathroom, his end of the bathroom.
Okay, I haven't taken it either.
I have been... Okay, no. I'm not going to say I have not been taking them, but I have not been consistently taking them. And I don't even want to say give an excuse, but like I said, it's not even a reason. I've been busy, but that's not a reason, because when you get in a shower, there is no busy. Like, nope, it's there. So you know what? I'm calling myself out again. Get it back in the cold shower.
I'm with you on it, man. And honestly, I've noticed a difference. I noticed the biggest difference. When I was taking cold showers, it was like my mornings, everything just felt like, all right, it's go time.
Yes.
Now Absolutely. It's like I'm rolling out, I'm back to my rolling. I'm still getting everything done that I need to get throughout the day, but I've noticed my emotions throughout the day has been very, very different. Without that like initial like start momentum, in the morning. That momentum.
Man, like when we were shooting morning podcasts here, last podcast, I didn't take a cold shower, I don't think, before. And on my way, I was like so mad at myself for not doing it. Like I was awake, I was on time, I was good, I was ready to go. But I was like, damn, like I just missed that start to my day. Like that like positive like momentum getting. And there's so much, but every day I redefine it as like you're battling your mind. And still, like I said, I'm not going in, but I'm calling myself out on it, because it's all mindset. If you don't want to do it, it's all the more reason that you should be in that cold shower.
Yeah, you got to put yourself in that uncomfortable situation. I was reading another book on Kabbalah recently, and it basically talks about that little voice inside your head that's telling you can't do it.
Yeah.
You're a loser. There's no way you can get through it. It's too cold. You don't want to do it. That's the quote unquote Satan in the back of your head trying to burst your ego that you can't do it. But if you could start off your day by kicking that voice's booty, early on,
definitely.
You just get that positive impact early on. It just carries through the whole day. You come out of it like, I just won right off the battle. Day one, right off the start of the gate, I kicked Satan's butt. Or that negative energy, whatever you want to call it.
Exactly.
And the day is just beautiful after that.
Yeah, it's honestly a great way to put it. Like, I didn't think about it like that. I was just thinking, like, I'm battling, but I'm just getting in the cold shower and just doing it and just getting out of the way.
Yeah.
So that,
and then if you're doing it like that, and then it's like, then don't fucking do it.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just doing it to do it.
No, not
it's
just
like,
to do it.
No, and I'm not calling you out, but if you're just doing it to if anyone's just like, I'm going to take the cold shower because the cold shower sucks, and when the cold shower is over, I'll be out of the cold shower. That's not why we're taking cold showers.
Doing it because of the benefits that it had. Like
the skin and the awake. And like, you feel more awake, and you do feel all those things, but keep that mindset. And when you open the mindset, and it's funny because you can then argue, do you need the cold shower to open your mindset to this? But I think of it as like a lesson. Like you're at school, it's a lesson. So when you open your mindset to like, hey, I don't want to fucking do this. This sucks. This cold, nah, I don't want that. But hey, it's not going to kill me. I'm going to be in there. It's not going to kill me. And that's what I'm going to learn from this, is that like I can handle stress and situations that I don't want to be in, and I'm going to be okay. I don't have to freak out. This moment will pass.
Yep.
And that's what I redefine it as. So when I get out of it, it's like I take the success of I accomplished my fears. I faced something I didn't want to do, and I did it.
Do you ever work on controlling your breathing when you're in there? Like when you're in an uncomfortable situation, you know, your heart rate goes up.
Yep.
Definitely.
So that coldness, you kind of work on your breathing techniques and learn.
Honestly, I forgot to do that because I've learned a lot about the breathing techniques, especially you're supposed to breathe through your stomach, right?
Right.
So yeah, and when I get in there, no, I'm honestly, I'm just freaking out until finally it gets warm. But for me, it's the same point, the same part as you, where it's just like building. I don't really do it for all the other benefits. It's really just mainly for getting over that hump of like anytime those negative thoughts come into my head, it's being able to power that, building that willpower. And it's like I always talk to other people too. I feel like it's the little things like making your bed in the morning. Mm-hmm. You know, it's something that people look at like, I'm going to get back in that tonight. Like, why would I need to do that? Especially for people that are staying home all day during COVID, all this and that. But that one little thing is just like accumulating. It's a very, very small thing, but it all accumulates.
It's a feeling of accomplishment. You did something.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Productive part of the day.
And it's awesome. And
sorry.
No.
I would say you guys often, because I love listening to the show and I've listened to every one of them and I do love them, not just because you're my kid and like a nephew to me.
I force them. I get home and I'm like,
sit down and watch
put your ass on this.
But
you're not living here anymore.
Every show, and I love it, how you talk about your morning routine.
Yeah.
But I want to, if I can ask you guys a question, I know it's your show, but what's your nighttime routine before you go to bed?
Oh, that's a good one.
Because that is just as important as your morning routine.
It's bad.
100%.
Yeah,
and the only reason I have somewhat of a nighttime routine besides being snacking and watching TV is because of the Stoic book you got me, that journaling, that you have a morning journal and a nighttime journal. And I'm going to call myself out again on the cold showers. And the thing with me is like I'm all in or I'm not in right now. So like I got to get back on my grind this week. But just like when I do that in the morning and in the night, it redefines the day and it starts the day. So when I go to bed and I do journal, it lets me know like this is what I accomplished today. This is what I need to work on. This is how I'm feeling. And like you always say, like it puts that energy out there. And that's another really cool subject, like getting into like energy and just manifesting and
love that
believing in
conversation.
everything. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you see in the mirror in my bathroom?
Yeah. Very, very nice.
Yeah. So what, like, to your point, I mean, before we jump on, my nighttime routine, I would say, is journaling sometimes. In a good day, it's getting on journaling and kind of unwinding. I do the Stoic journal, and then I do my own personal journal, and then I kind of reset for tomorrow. But that's where I'm at my best, and I'm sure there's more I can go from there. But
for me, I was doing the same thing, and then just like everything, I was like, you know, I'm out here I'm getting everything I need to get done, and I feel very good. I feel motivated. So slowly, everything starts to, you know, fall to the back burner. So I definitely need to start doing it again because, like I said, I noticed the difference. Mm-hmm. I noticed such a big difference.
100%.
Between when you're journaling and doing
when I'm journeying, when I'm taking the cold showers, when I'm doing the whole routine thing, I just feel my days feel way better.
Yeah.
Like now it feels like
100%. It feels like a blah.
Yeah, it feels like a blah.
Like my last 2 weeks have felt like one long day.
Yep.
And I feel like it's because I haven't defined and redefined them.
That's a really great point.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because now I'm journaling again.
That was
nighttime routines. The other thing, what I've also found helpful at nighttime is, and I do it almost every night, and I don't do it every night, is a gratitude journal. And I have it right next to the bed.
Yeah.
Nice.
And every night before bed, I write the top 5 things I'm grateful for the day.
Yeah.
So at least I'm going to bed with something positive. It might even be that I'm grateful to have a bed to sleep in today. Just something simple like that.
No,
why do you write it?
Because just thinking it is not enough. In order for it to get out into the universe, and I believe in energy, I believe what you put out, you get back, and I think you guys are really into a lot of that as well.
Yeah.
But for me, in my own personal belief, it's more than just thinking it and saying it. Writing it down also gives me a feeling of ownership of it, and when I write it, I get the emotional attachment to it.
Yeah.
And I think when we're projecting stuff out, and it's something I think you had mentioned in the last one, where you were talking about a Lamborghini and how you wanted a Lamborghini and you manifested this Lamborghini and how by manifesting things it works. But I think it actually goes a little further from my own experience. For me, it's not just, or from what I've read, not just believing that I want the Lambo and putting it up on the wall. It's actually feeling that I already have the Lamborghini. It's the emotional feeling, that energy that goes into the universe that comes back. And I think a lot of people just go, I want a Lamborghini, I want $1 million. I want it. Why isn't it happening? Well, because you're not walking around like you already have it. You got to feel it and own it, and then the universe will give it back to you. So that's why I write in the gratitude journal. It helps me own it and give more energy into the universe, and it slows me down to really think about it rather than just blurb it through my mind.
So how many journals do you have?
I've got a lot of journals on the bookshelf.
I'm really in line with that too.
And some of them I do destroy after. Some things are destroyed after. I write them for the night, get it out into the universe, and I'm like, not everybody needs to read this. I needed to get it out tonight.
So you crumple it up and you just throw it out?
Yeah, bring it to the office and shred it, or
shreds it, burns it, drowns it.
Where's just some of it belongs, but by getting it out, I free myself of some of that negative energy.
Yeah, and what you were saying before, I align with that a lot, because I feel like when you just say I want this, I want that, it feels like I'm chasing it. Yeah, like that's the energy that you're putting out. Is I'm chasing this because I do not have it. So I love that.
I love that. You possess that feeling.
Yeah, but saying I want, that's not owning it. I already have it, but feel like you already have it. So the universe believes you own it, and then it'll give it to you.
Yeah. And you were saying something like that. I think it was the last episode.
Yeah, it's a guy
with the car, like your sister's car. You said you drive the Camaro. You already thought you were driving a Lamborghini.
Yeah, I felt like I was driving the Lamborghini, but didn't feel like mine. I wasn't on that this is
right. But you still put into the universe a real feeling. Yeah, not just I want it.
And now he's driving around in a Model S Tesla. So
no, not Model S, Model 3.
Tesla, which is better. I like this car better.
Yeah,
more for the environment this way.
By the way.
Yeah. I love
I'm a little envious. Happy for you.
Yeah, and you know what? My mom yelled at me for not bringing up that story, because I literally manifested that. Me and my dad used to actually talk about getting Teslas together. So it's a very personal thing for me. And like, I just remember I got very blessed having a nice car from the start. And after having that car for 1 year, I didn't have my own car for years. For years. I was saving up, just keep putting money away. And then I knew I needed a car, so Tesla was always on my mind. It was a car I always wanted. I literally had a picture up my wall telling everybody I am buying a Tesla. Then I put it out on my Instagram. You guys remember that?
I remember when you told me I am buying a Tesla this year.
He told me that. He came home and told me that you were doing
I'm buying it this year. I was like, CJ's buying a fucking Tesla. He's buying a Tesla.
People were messaging me like, oh, okay, we'll see about that. And I was like, yep, you will see about it. It's already mine. It's already mine.
You're definitely driven. You've always been that way. Yeah. And you probably get a lot of that from your pops.
100%. Maybe a little too much, but yeah, I get a lot of that from him.
And I'm pretty sure you bought it before, like, you actually thought you were gonna buy it.
I said I was gonna buy it. I think with it in a year or 6 months, and then I bought it within like 2 months.
Yeah, literally.
Something crazy. I was like, what the?
Yeah, when I put it out into Instagram, I wanted because I heard somewhere, I think it was, I went to a Tony Robbins event, and he said, put it out there to let everyone hear about it.
And he talk a lot about emotions and feelings, not just saying it, but feeling it, right?
Feeling it. Yeah, he's all about emotions.
Passionate.
Every single thing, like the fears, everything we do has to do with emotion to Tony Robbins, which I agree with. That's what I align with. I think everything the Lamborghini that I want, it's an emotion that I want to feel driving that thing. That's all I get all these different feelings. So I definitely think that's the basis to our desires, all of our desires and everything. So yeah, I definitely I try my best to dive deep into those connections that we were talking about, and like trying to find what, like my why, like with the whole YouTube thing and like why I'm switching. It's like my emotions. Yeah, you know what? I'm making money and blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, I don't feel like I'm living. Like it doesn't feel like I'm truly living like the life that I want to live. So
what is the life you want to live?
I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to inspire people. I want to do, because I'm sure you guys have all seen it. I have a crazy mind, and I'm a jack of all trades. There's no one thing that I really want to be amazing at besides YouTube and podcasting. It's just like, I just want to let everything out and inspire people through everything I do. So like when you see me, like when I don't know how to make music and I go and I make music, it's like, come on, if I can do it, if I'm someone that doesn't want to make music and I was able to make songs and post songs, you guys can all do that too. Yeah. So it's like, that's what I feel like is my true goal on this earth.
And dude, you truly are like, you live that motto. Like, for those of you who are trying to aspire to do anything, like, there is no excuses. We are sitting in this dude's bedroom right now. This is where his bed is supposed to be.
Yeah.
But it is not a bed. It is the booth. So we can do our podcast. He sleeps on the couch.
So he sleeps right here.
He doesn't leave this booth. He edits day in and day out.
Cameras turn off, and I literally just turn off right here.
No, but dude, there's no excuses. You stay on your grind and you manifest things. And I think, like you said, you always say you want to be a YouTuber. You are, man. Just keep owning that. Also.
Yep. Yes, I want to be a YouTuber. I am a YouTuber.
You already are. Yes.
Yes.
You just want to continue to build it, right?
Exactly.
Okay. And what was the ultimate goal? Is to spread.
I just want to inspire people.
Inspire people.
I want people just to know that anything they decide they want to do, they can do it.
I love it.
There's nothing holding you back except for this. That's
Definitely.
the only thing.
That's what we're here to tell people, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love telling people that every day. Like I was telling him on the ride here, it's like we're going to have a conversation and just positive and just like radiate energy that's positive out there and just help people that need something to listen to or just are looking for answers or anything like that. Like that's what we're here to do, is just educate and help people chase their dreams. And like we like to say, not even chase your dreams, just live in your dream.
Yeah,
like that's what we're here to do.
Yeah, and inspire people to get away from the battling that they're doing, because everybody, I mean, we're about to get into some of the battles that you've had to face.
Yeah, definitely.
But you know, everybody out there is going through something. Like you guys out there listening, you're not alone. Like we all, like my dad passed. Like that was like a crazy time in my life. Yeah. Like, you know, especially because I was running a business that I had no clue anything about. And it's just like, it just seemed like one thing after another. It's just like the world was just like last night's fight with freaking Mazadal, you know, when he hit him in the face and he started hitting him. That's what it felt like life was doing to me. It was just like one thing. Here's another thing.
And it will every day.
Yeah, exactly.
Every day.
But if you let it dig you deeper and deeper and deeper, you're just going to get to a point where you're at rock bottom, and then you're going to have to climb up a farther hole. I would say whenever anything hits you in the face, like that's a huge thing that you had to go through, and like I wouldn't wish it for anybody, but like what happened, and now you can let it keep kicking you in the face, or you can own it and fucking live your life and start going forward, and like you're doing, just keep progressing and like just still living in the dream. You don't have to let situations define how you live. I think like your perception can keep you going and driving.
Well, and every negative situation or obstacle is also a test.
Yeah.
And the real way I try to look at it now, which I didn't look at it in my youth or when I was young, like, you know, young adults like you guys, you know, and any obstacle that came, I was like, oh, why me? Woe is, you know, and you play a little bit of that victim role, but studying a lot more of philosophy and different things now, you're realizing that those obstacles and those barriers are put here so you could learn and grow. And they're really here to challenge you, to make you a better person and teach you a better way. Definitely. So instead of looking at them as negative, look at them as positive things. And like, thank the universe. Thanks for giving me this a car that just broke down. So now I can become a better person. You know, I'll get a better one next time. I'll fix this. I'll learn from it.
Yeah.
And then the negatives become positives. And that's what I've been trying to do lately, and hopefully teach my kids and other people that kind of attitude.
I mean, I'm up here just screaming at people like perception is your reality. Like this is where I get it from. So like it really is, you know, like any situation you're going through, you have any way to look at it. And I feel like it's kind of a cool subject. I literally just kind of went through my head. Like people say that there's like infinite realities. But do you think that almost just means there's infinite people and there's infinite ways you can perceive things? So in a sense, everyone has their own reality, and there isn't a different multi-universe, but we're all four right here in our own reality, and everyone listening is in their own reality.
I do think that. I think that we're all perceiving this different right now. Like, to me, that's a certain color yellow, but you might, I don't know if you see it.
We touched on that.
Oh, we talked about that. Oh, boy.
And that's a great way to just put it out.
And each animal and each species on the planet, we know, see things differently. Yeah. And we only see a small fraction of the light spectrum.
Yeah.
So personally, I believe there's all these other realities and other realms and dimensions around us. I know this sounds crazy to a lot of people, but you know, I had a lot of fun in college and had a lot of opportunities to.
But it's also very knowledgeable, and these are real, like,
this is
not
what I believe real,
or maybe
but
even like this is real practice studies. That
absolutely, Kabbalah, and I mean there's Buddhism and Taoism. They talk about a lot of this kind of stuff, and for me, I believe there's other planes of dimension all around us here.
Yeah, and
there's different portals to get to it. And you know, when I was younger, I experimented with different ways to open those portals and see things in a different perspective. And by doing that, I've realized things a little bit differently than other people, and it kind of woke me up to the reality of what really goes on in the world.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes,
things aren't as bad as they seem. Like you're not, you know, like you're here alive. Like there's people going through so much stress and they stress over so much crazy stuff, and it's like take a step back and look at.
It's funny you say that. I had about 3 or 4 years ago. I was in the office and I had a patient. She was about 85, sweet little old lady, and got her off the table and we were just chatting. She's like, "Hey, Sonny," and we're just chatting. I said, "Hey, what advice would you give a middle-aged guy like me who has 3 young adult children that I could pass on to them?" And she sat for me and she looked at me and said, "You know what, Sonny? You ever hear that expression, don't sweat the small stuff?" And I was like, thank you so much for reminding me of that. And she went, "Shut up, kid." And I went, "What?" And she goes, "You don't know the second part, do you?" I'm like, "There's a second part." She goes, "Yeah." She stood up, put her arm around my shoulder, leaned in real close and whispered, "When you're facing death's door at my age, it was all small shit." And she just walked out of the room and I never saw her again.
Oh my God.
And it really put everything in perspective to me. Like all the crap I worried about and everything, all my years of studies. And it was just like, wow, how amazing. Memento mori. Like we don't know what's going to happen. And nobody's ever been on deathbed wishing they had another dollar or another minute on Instagram or no offense or the YouTube channel. Like So after that, I'm like, F this. I'm going to go live. I'm going to study. I'm going to knowledge. I'm getting up at 5 a.m. I'm going to read. I'm going to go live life. I'm done with all this other BS and this bullshit.
You can curse on here. Fuck shit.
And I just realized so much of what I was doing in the past and everybody else is doing is not really living life.
Yeah.
Stop going through the motions. You got one shot here to learn your lesson or you're going to come back and repeat this crap again.
Yeah.
I love that.
Get up and go serve people, spread some love and compassion in the world, and serve mankind, and just be a servant to humanity.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that.
You see why this guy got such an intro, right?
Believe me, I don't do perfect every day. I make my errors and do that, but I try every day. Like Anthony Robbins, The Power of Can I?
Yep.
Constant, never-ending improvement every day, and try to improve myself.
And that's life. Like I think we were talking about earlier, or I was talking about someone else. Is like people make mistakes. You cannot plan on being perfect. Every sports, life, business, anything. You can't plan on perfection. You have to just know how to rebound from anything that happens to you. So if shit's like you said, like don't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. So when shit starts happening, like don't let it affect you. Just keep persevering and just being you. And I would say that also everyone always focuses on like don't sweat the negatives. Don't sweat the negatives. Don't get too hyped up on the positives. Don't get too like, oh, I got this. I can take a break now. Like, don't let anything affect you. Just stay true to who you are.
Be more stoic.
Yeah.
And you're right, because if you get so hyped up on that positive, you're only setting yourself up for failure because you're feeding your ego.
No, exactly.
And once you feed your ego, it's over. Now you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like that. It was the thing I said the other day on Instagram. What was that post that we put on? It literally fits that perfectly. It was success is not final, failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts. That's exactly it.
That quote was so good. Pull it back up on the Instagram. We posted it twice, almost back-to-back days, for the true people who followed.
Oh my gosh! I didn't even realize
that's how good that quote was.
And honestly, it is literally perfect.
Yeah, it is, and it's so true.
And even the negative things that happen are really positives if you grow from it. And I think you made a post about it not too long ago, right? If something, it's not a mistake if you learn from it. It was something along those lines, correct?
Yeah.
And that's so true. Also, anything that happens in your life, guess what? You caused it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
Nothing's by chance. You're creating this movie. This is your vision. This is you.
Yeah.
So everything that comes into your life, you've manifested.
Can we dive into some of the stuff that you like, some of the battles that you had to go through?
Let's dive into Harley Bofshever.
So, where do you want to start?
Where do you?
Questions?
Well, you want to start with?
Here, let's start. Did you have something to dive into?
Well, no, I wanted to go. You mentioned some things. I mean, I guess I would like to start with, because you mentioned that he played baseball and rugby.
So let's start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Obviously, I know a bit about this guy. We've known each other for a little while, but grew up athlete, baseball player, and that was your
That's who I was.
I lived.
I lived like you guys played hockey.
Yeah.
I was baseball. We didn't have the travel like you guys have today, but I eat, sleep, shit, and breathe baseball. I had a batting cage on the side of the house. Mom called me out of school to hit in the batting cage, and that's what I did.
Yeah.
Grandpa
built it?
Yep. Grandpa built me a batting cage, and we sat on the side of the house, had a lot of fun. Uncle Gary toughened me up by throwing baseballs at me when I was a kid. That's how I got tough.
Yeah.
I
got tennis balls
We'll
at me.
tell that one later.
Yeah, well, that's another story. Thanks, Gary. So I grew up playing baseball, played some college baseball for a while. Had an opportunity. I was on a full ride scholarship at Nova University down here, and had an opportunity at the end of the season to go AA, possibly with the Royals. Coach was a scout with them, but at the time, my girlfriend was living in Alabama, and baseball started becoming a job. I started losing and I remember it very well. I looked at Coach one day. I was a catcher, and it's a freaking grind. Catching's not like, it's
not as easy as it
looks.
looks.
Looking at the goalie.
You're right. It's the same as you. Like, nobody gives a crap about you. You're over there, and we're going to throw baseballs at you all day and fuck off, block them and throw them back. Like, I'm sick of this crap, right? Same thing. And I looked at Coach, and I just said, I can't go to practice today. He's like, why? I need a break. I'm burnt out. And he was like, I don't care. You're on scholarship. I'm like, I need time off. And it hit this burnout wall for me. So I moved to Alabama, lived with my girlfriend, and she was hanging out with some of the guys on the rugby team, and I'm like, those guys are crazy. You're not hanging out with them. So I walked on to the University of Alabama rugby team and played rugby there, and then went to chiropractic school after, I don't know if you want me to touch on what happened at Alabama after.
Well, you can go as deep as you want on anything, and I want you to touch on Mr. Atlanta as well. I don't know if that was in Cairo school.
Oh, yeah, that could Cairo school. So, while in Alabama, the girl that I kind of moved there to be with, we broke up, and I took a bad spiral and kind of got lost in a world of mind expansion. And it was a lot of fun, and it took me down a bad path, but it was a journey I needed to take to expand my mind and bring me to who I am today. And my brother was going to chiropractic school, and he kind of called me out to Atlanta and beat my ass. And I went back.
Brothers.
I went back to Alabama, packed my stuff, and moved to Atlanta, and lived on his floor/couch for a few semesters until I had enough money and student loans, and went to Cairo school and was playing rugby there, which got me into bodybuilding because I was way too small to play that level rugby.
Yeah.
Hit the gym and just started bulking up. Met my roommate Sig and taught me how to really work out. And next thing you know, I was competing in bodybuilding shows and was I won a show in Daytona, Mr. Atlanta, came in second in the state of Georgia.
Oh, shit.
It was a lot of fun.
We're gonna link some crazy pictures of this guy. That
awesome.
Growing up, everyone would tell me like, that's Photoshop. Your dad's not.
No,
that.
it was real. I was shredded
Dad, is
for a
this
while.
Photoshopped?
They didn't have Photoshop back then. It was we had photo mats and 1 hour photo booths, and
so bodybuilding.
Did the bodybuilding, and then came back down, and after school, after chiropractic school, came back down here, started to practice, went into business with my brother.
Yep.
We had 3 great clinics, and
How was that really quick working with family?
in the beginning it was great. No, the whole time it was a blast. We were a perfect team because what he was really good at, I was good at the other stuff, and we complemented each other very, very well, and we grew it to an incredible enterprise and helped a lot of people, and really did a lot of incredible volunteer work. And
you guys did all the high school events.
We volunteered I did for 25 years, school board of Broward County football teams, like volunteering on the sidelines, and we were volunteer of the years, local heroes. We donated a ton of money, and we decided that once we were blessed to make a decent enough living, we wanted to give back to the community, and we gave back to the sports teams. So we gave to the kids at Mullins Park, and any sports team. We just wanted to give, and I think giving back and just giving is part of being a great human. And then everything was going great till Hurricane Wilma hit.
Yeah. So so you went from really being completely lost thinking you were going to be a baseball player, and it kind of just that ended abruptly. You go to school. You don't know what you're doing. Like, I'm sure many of our viewers and many people can find themselves kind of just in school or not in school, or just lost, just kind of like in their mid-20s and not sure what they're going to do. And you start to have fun, and you start to experiment, you start to do things, and you get lost. And so then Uncle Gary, your brother, he says, listen, kid, you're coming to chiropractic school to stay with me. So he kind of straightens you out a bit, and you go on your grind. You do 4 years of school there. Now you guys start your own 4 years there, right?
No, it was 4 years there and 4 years undergrad. So it was 8 years of college. No summers off.
Shit.
Now you start your
working
own business.
full-time and playing sports through the whole thing.
And now you're making good money. And now
we're doing really well. Hurricane Wilma hits, and everybody's house gets damaged. So And at this time, Uncle Gary and I, my brother, we had 3 clinics down here. We were running 3 different clinics with multidisciplinary and medical doctors, and it was huge. It was a blast.
Yeah.
And I was doing some work on the tile on the roof and stepped on the ladder, come down, ladder slipped, and I fell about 15 feet under the driveway head first and was unconscious and suffered a tremendous amount of injuries, and took us from a beautiful home in Eagle Trace to fast forward a year later, bankrupt and basically homeless.
Well, wait, because you just breezed through that. Okay.
He's just it's just so fell off.
So you fell off, and what did you break?
All right, so I I was unconscious on the driveway. Neck, right? I herniated several discs in my neck, had surgery on my left wrist, tore the labrum in my left shoulder, tore my rotator cuff in my right arm, and part of my right bicep. I've had a headache since I fell off the roof in 2005, I think it is. It hasn't gone away.
Yeah,
I have
some days worse.
6 disc herniations in my neck, 3 in my low back. I have a torn ACL in my left knee, torn cartilage, and a bunch of other stuff. Torn cartilage, both wrists from the fall.
Holy cow. And how long did it take to recover?
I was on lifetime disability, government Social Security approved, and I couldn't feel my arm much for about 6 months. Remember that?
Yeah.
It took me about 3.5 years. I was told I'd be in a wheelchair by now.
Yeah.
What age did this happen at?
Gosh, just 2005, right?
You were 35, maybe.
So 35-ish. So they said by 50 I'd be wheelchair bound and never working or doing anything.
And how old are you now again?
I'll be 53 this year, and fucking kiss my ass.
He's doing backflips, front flips.
I still have all the injuries. I take no medications for it.
Yep.
I eat healthy. I exercise the best I can, and
I wanted to touch on something because the bodybuilding, I'm sure that has a lot of nutrition to go into that stuff because I'm trying to work out and stuff, and I know how hard that stuff is. How did that go? How did you go from that to the chiropractic stuff?
Well, so my undergraduates, I was doing nutrition and sports medicine.
Okay.
I always wanted to be a chiropractor. Chiropractic helped me a lot in high school, but truth is, only went to college to play baseball. I hated school with a passion. I was not very good at it, and it wasn't until I got to chiropractic school where I started taking classes with stuff I liked, and I was like, you know what? I like this crud. This is great. Heck yeah, I'm going to break into the dissection lab and go in there and start learning the body. And I was doing that, and I want to break. I couldn't get enough of the anatomy and the science, and it just intrigued the heck out of me. I absolutely loved it.
And I'm sure you learned a lot after your injuries.
Tremendous amount. And I used to do an old school bodybuilding diet, the clean diet, low, the chicken, low carb, all that kind of stuff. And a few years ago, I met a new trainer and a buddy of mine, who phenomenal guy in nutrition and working out, and he turned me on to the keto carnivore life.
Have you heard of anabolic
steroids or
no like cooking?
Anabolic cooking, to increase body's testosterone levels and things of that nature.
Something like that, I think.
I know a little bit about it, but it's definitely not something I'm huge on. I'm now a huge advocate of keto carnivore.
Okay.
And I believe the carnivore lifestyle is probably the healthiest way, with keto in addition to it.
And can you explain that for those who don't know? What is keto carnivore?
All right, so my diet is probably 90% carnivore, which is strictly animal products. So I'd say the majority of my diet is bacon, red meat. I'll eat 3 to 4 pounds of red meat a day, probably about a pound of bacon, butter, some chicken once in a while, but it's kind of boring, and some cheese.
Which is completely opposite of what you were taught in medical
It's
school.
100% opposite of,
right?
I was taught stay away from the red beef, cholesterol's bad, and that whole typical American mindset, which I now know without a shadow of a doubt is a crock of pooey, that nobody should be eating carbohydrates. It's horrible for us. And I sit here even looking at like a diabetic patient. You take somebody that's diabetic, you tell them to eat carbohydrates, and then you give them insulin to absorb the carbohydrates. Well, why don't you just switch their body to absorb to eat fat?
Yeah. So that's basically what keto is then.
Right. So most of the standard American diet, we're living off of carbohydrates, glucose. The body takes in carbohydrates, converts it to sugar or glucose, and use that for energy. Well, there's another system in the body that actually is more efficient, and that's a ketogenic system where the body is actually living off of fat. So the diet is now 80% fat, and you switch your body to burning fat for energy instead of carbohydrates. Okay. And what happens is your insulin and glucose levels stay normal. There's no ups and downs in it, and many of your diseases go away. So the more you control that, I've got at least 24 patients now on the carnivore diet.
Sheesh.
And I have patients with Tourette's that it's gone. Their Tourette symptoms are gone. I have patients with Hashimoto's disease. They're gone.
Tourette's gone, like their tics?
Their tics are completely gone when they eat carnivore. And I'm personally, my own story, I was on 2 different, going through a lot of the things I went through, and, back to the other thing.
Yeah, falling off the roof and being on disability for 5-something years.
I went from, and at the time your mom and I got divorced a month before that. So I went from being a husband and a father and a family guy to, the breakup of the family, which happens.
Yeah.
And then a few weeks after, not even a month after that, falling off the roof and losing my chiropractic identity, 3 clinics, my country club, my vacation home.
Just everything.
I went from a millionaire to like, what the freak just happened here?
Yeah.
And it was tough, and I turned to some things I probably shouldn't have turned to for a little while, and did some shit that I probably shouldn't have done. But I one day woke up, looked in the mirror, and saw my 3 kids looking at me, and I'm like, I got to man the F up here and teach my kids to pull themselves out of it. The world don't care that I'm down.
Yeah.
F you, try harder. No one cares. And I just got back up and just kept going. Memento Mori.
I wrote it down and I couldn't read it.
That would be more like Amor Fati, which, just love your fate and learn to just love what happens.
Is this Greek?
Amor Fati, yeah, it's more, I think Greek or Roman, yeah. It's more from like the Stoicism and stuff.
So touching back, all this shit happens. Yeah, so all this shit happens. No, all this shit happens.
Yeah.
And you go and turn to some things that, not that you shouldn't, but just coping mechanisms and things to get you through the day. And now we touch back to the ketogenic diet. And
absolutely. So those things brought me to and they put me on antidepressants. My blood pressure was through the roof because I was stressed out. And then I learned this ketogenic diet, and I went on keto within 3 or 4 months. Or very quickly, my medications all dropped, and my mind started doing better. And then I started learning about the carnivore diet.
Yeah.
And after my 2nd week on the carnivore diet, I was off of an antidepressant, a mood stabilizer, and 2 blood pressure medications that I've been on for almost 15 years.
So is this like both of them merged together that you're on?
Yeah, I do. I do the carnivore, and then when I'm like, I need something other than a steak or just meat, I'll eat something keto.
Because in a sense, it's kind of the same diet, I think. Right?
It's the same premise, the same principle. For me, I do a little more carnivore for autoimmune things. I have a lot of injuries, joint injuries, and the carnivore diet keeps all the inflammation out of my body. So when I stay carnivore-ish, the more carnivore I go, the less pain I have in my body. And I've been able to use that to not have to take any medications for my injuries.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which has been great.
Now, really quick, we did a little bouncing there. We did a lot of bouncing.
I know, I bounce around.
No, you're good. So during that time though, where you were doing all those, where it seemed like shit was just happening, and then to the time where you looked in the mirror and you looked at your kids and were like, I need to get my shit together. How long was that period?
Probably about a 5-year period.
Okay.
5 years?
About 5-6 year period. Yeah.
And what was going through your mind through that whole time?
I was playing the victim role. Like, why did this happen to me? I came from poverty, not poverty. Sorry, mom and dad, but we didn't I didn't grow up with the silver spoon. There was, it was electric off from time to time, and we had what we needed, but not what we wanted. Pops worked his butt off, and mom, they did what they could. But wait, where was I going with this?
It's all good. It's all good. Pretty much just like what was going through your mindset that whole time.
So I was down and out. I was playing the victim role. I was very depressed, and the only way I could bring myself to get through the days was to absorb myself with going to your hockey games and going to my daughter's stuff.
Yeah.
But the days the kids were with their mom, I was doing things I did in college that I shouldn't be doing. And I wasn't proud of it. Look, I had lost the family, so to speak, and I lost my job. I had nothing to do, which sounded great in the beginning, but all my friends were working.
Yeah.
I was literally sitting home all day.
It's like you're homesick from school, and then you're like, wait, where? I can't play with anyone.
Yeah, after 3.5 years of doing that, and then you kind of get addicted, and you're in that world. And then one day you wake up and your kids are looking at you and you're like, you know what, I got to get my shit together. Mm-hmm. They're at that age now where they need to see me pull myself out of this and get past this adversity. And started talking to some people, and I went to Kabbalah. And Kabbalah was my first taste of, I guess you call it maybe ancient wisdom, or like that ancient mindset of there's a bigger picture here than just your freaking little problem,
Yeah.
And then it helped me realize we're a few billion people spinning on a rock in outer space, plummeting toward death.
Yeah.
And I'm worried that I don't have money.
Yeah.
Like, who freaking cares? It's some bullshit thing that is really worthless in the world. And
materialistic.
There's such a bigger picture here, and I just kind of made a commitment that I'm going to make my life better. Okay. And I'm going to find a better path, and that kind of led me to becoming a Freemason and on a better path in life, and and getting some better knowledge and becoming a better person and going in that direction and helping the world become better.
Okay. And then I want to touch on, because as a business owner, and I'm as many people out there, like the biggest, like I feel like the thing that business owners fear the most is bankruptcy. I've
done it twice since that. And I didn't even say that. Yeah. So I built everything back up. I went out on my own after a few years. I decided to take myself off of disability. I'm not going to sit around playing this victim role crap anymore. Yeah. So F this. I gave up the disability, gave up all that shit, and went back to the gym, went back to work, opened up my own practice. Instead of going back with my brother, taking the easy path, I kind of said, F that. I'm going to do this on my own. Opened a business, built it up again, and had it cranking again.
You were working with all of the MMA fighters.
Yep. I was the Chiropractic American top team and working on all those big name fighters.
That was fun. I got to meet them.
Yeah, it was a blast. It was definitely a great experience and some wonderful people I met in life, some great friendships. And then some changes in healthcare laws and reimbursement laws. And all of a sudden I was bankrupt again.
So you're down.
That's crazy.
Yep. That whole thing hit. And then that was right around the time of the COVID and that whole thing. So the combination of those laws changing this, and I went through a bankruptcy again.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I'm going to come right out of it. And it's not changing me.
Definitely.
I'm not defined by how much money I have in the fucking bank. I'm not defined by the clothes I wear or the car I drive. I define myself by how many people I help today.
Yeah.
And did I spread some love and positivity in the world? That's how I define my day.
Beautiful.
Yeah. But I want to paint that picture a little bit, because so the first bankruptcy, you lose your credit score for how long? 10 years?
Yeah, it was about 7 years.
7 years. So you went bankrupt, but you were able to start another, like that's big. That's a big feat that you were able to go through bankruptcy and then able to start your own practice again. Like, what did that look like? What was going through your mind when you first were doing the bankruptcy, going through that? And then,
well, there's definitely the victim role of like, I can't freaking believe this is happening. Like less than a year ago, I barely had a mortgage and I had a country club membership at Eagle Trace and cars in the driveway, and we had this vacation place, and we were going out in limousines just to go to Fridays just for the effort. We're like, fuck it, let's go with Dom Perignon and go to Fridays with a limo and have some
very
fun.
Generous with your money.
What about the future outlook, though?
I had money saved. I had the retirement. I had all of it.
Wow.
And owed nothing. And a year later, after I fell off the roof, I was over $950,000 in debt. And it just got to the point where I'm like, I can't. And I was trying morally and ethically to pay everybody and keep it going. I was using a second mortgage to pay the first mortgage, second mortgage, you in hockey, the girls doing their cheerleading, gymnastics.
And never let
I would
us
do it all
know.
again.
Never like, this is where I hear
I went 3 days without food.
Yeah.
So you keep you guys doing your shit. Because that's what a parent does.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's just what you do. It's no big deal. That's what you're supposed to do. I mean.
Yeah, but no, there's a big thing to say about that, because there's a lot of people that have gone that much in debt, especially recently, and like they'll just kill themselves. It's like, it's unfortunate. It's just,
I'm not, no way. I got too much to live for. And I'm
not even us. You have,
I'm Lee Gilman.
Don't do that to me, but don't do that to you.
We're going to be sitting here I will be 100 years old sitting at this table.
Yeah.
Be recording this episode.
I don't know if it'll be in the same room. I don't know where you'll be. You might be in a big giant studio somewhere, but you can bring me back on my 100th birthday and we'll have a party and we will celebrate. You might be pushing me in a wheelchair, but I'm making it, and I'm going to continue to spread some kind of positivity and help the world be a better place.
And that's amazing. That's amazing.
It's on the universe.
Definitely.
And the truth is, you kind of touch like, how did I pull out of it? And a lot of us come to realization that nobody gives a fuck that I'm hurt.
Yeah.
That's where the drive came from?
Doesn't care.
Is that where the drive came from?
Yeah. It's like, nobody cares. Like, stop bitching and complaining. Get off your ass and do something.
That's all. Where did you learn that? Because I read that in a book, and that's what changed my mindset. And the subtle art of not giving a fuck, I touched on that. Like, stop playing the victim, and you gotta realize, like, you are being the victim when you're victimizing situations like that. So where did that come from?
I got a lot of that from two things. One, I got it from Kabbalah.
Okay.
And two, I got it from a book called Rhinoceros Success.
Yes. Yes.
Which was an amazing book for me.
That was the first book I think you ever read in your life.
Well, hold on. I think that was the first non-educational textbook where like real book.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, there was no cheating on this one. It was legitimate.
You decided you wanted to read it. That was the first book you decided, I'm going to read this.
There was no due date.
Absolutely life changing. In fact, I bought all 3 of my kids a copy of it.
It was life changing for me.
I bought you a book of that, didn't I?
You gave me.
I gave you. And I think I gave you my copy.
It was literally. I'm telling you right now, it was literally one of the greatest things I've ever got in my life.
Yeah,
because I told you I listened to it every Monday. It was literally the thing that got me up in the morning to just be like, all right, I'm so thankful that you gave me that book.
And I'm glad I was able to help.
I got to check it out.
And just hearing that gives me a reason to keep going on tomorrow because I helped somebody.
Yeah.
And maybe doing that helps you somehow get this off the ground, which may help somebody else.
Exactly. It's just passing. It's like I saw we were talking about it earlier, but this guy on Instagram, I don't know the name. I wish I can shout out the handle, but it's like they do drive-by like compliments. Have you guys seen that?
No.
Dude, it's awesome. I don't even know. They don't even show their face. I don't know who it is, but they drive by and they call someone over, and everyone's like, it's about to be like a Karen moment, and they're like, "Hey, I love your smile. Like, you look beautiful today."
I think I've seen that.
And then like the people just feel so good about themselves.
Yeah,
just
that's
spreading
awesome.
love. And then those people go out and probably spread love. And
Yeah.
like just like he passed down the knowledge of that book to you. Now you're here preaching the knowledge of that book to everyone.
Yep.
And you're living your goals in life of like spreading the knowledge, and you're doing it, and we're all just here like helping each other and just
and we have to, because if my belief is we're all one, we're all connected. I believe in energy.
Really.
I'm huge in energy.
Oh yeah.
And I believe there's universal energy, and matter's neither created nor stored or any of that kind of stuff, just dispersed. So if one person is hurting and one soul is hurting, humanity is hurting.
Yeah.
We're all hurting.
Yeah.
So if you're shitty to one person and you give them a bad day, you hurt all of humanity that day, because that's going to be a ripple effect. And we all share that one, whether you believe religion or whatever, the Big Bang Theory or whatever, we all came from one source.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep spreading positivity and love the best you can. You're going to screw it up every day, but try to look at the bigger picture, and it's not about you. There's a bigger picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. Like, I agree. I mean, obviously, I agree. I was probably raised by you or something.
Raised by a hippie dad. Sorry.
No, but
and hippie and grandparents.
It's one of the reasons I was so excited to have you on today's episode. Like your mindset and just really the knowledge that you do have, and that you, not even the knowledge that you have, the drive you have to gain more knowledge is just amazing. And yeah, I see it every day, especially recently. Especially since you've gotten into masonry, like constantly reading and educating and just learning something. It's like when you're young, everyone's telling you like you should learn something new every day, but like that's real life. And even I feel like even if you don't set out to do it, you will. If anyone can go home tonight and find something they learned new today.
Absolutely.
But I think to like have a goal and to learn something new and try to learn that something new is cool.
You know where I learned that from?
No.
My grandfather. So your Grandpa Ralph. He always said, learn something new every day, and he passed that down to my dad. And so now part of my reason that I get up as early as I can is I make sure I spend at least an hour, if not 2, every morning reading something educational, some type of ancient wisdom, something knowledgeable, something important, meaningful, not just a bullshit fictional thing. And pretty much anything I watch almost anymore, which is probably getting really annoying in the house for my children, is I don't like watching anything that's non-educational anymore, because I have such a limited time, or we all have a limited time left on earth. And I'm not trying to be doom and gloom here, and hopefully it's another 70, 80 years, but it's limited.
Yeah.
And every second counts.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm no longer personally going to waste any of those seconds on bullshit random stuff.
No, exactly.
I want to gain something out of it so I can take that and spread it to other people and share that knowledge with others. So
I love that.
That's kind of my quest. And I kind of redefined, it used to be I wanted money and wealth and all that materialistic crap. And I realized if you want materialism, money and all that, it can't be happy, because there's never enough.
Yeah.
There's always more money. There's always a better car. There's always a hotter anything.
There's always a hotter thing of soup.
There's always some soup can always be hotter,
That's not true. There's no one hotter.
Right. Yeah. So like
I was saying that on one podcast that like there's always going to be something nicer, something
Yeah.
Grass is always greener.
Whatever. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yep.
But
No, definitely.
But for me, I've changed what makes me happy, and I redefine it as living my life to serve others.
Yeah.
Not for not to make me happy, but just not for more selfish reasons, just to do, and hopefully those people will pay it forward and help other people and start this ripple effect through humanity and of positivity. And,
that's awesome.
That's my new journey, my new quest in life. And I definitely becoming a Mason and realizing a lot of the value systems that my grandfather had and why he was the man he was. Yeah, it has helped me a lot too.
Yeah, it sounds like he did a great job, hitting you with the baseballs and was right.
No, that was
So yeah, he was 5 years older than me, and he was a pitcher. So to try to get me tougher, he would stand me against the wall and throw baseballs at me. And if I blinked, he would throw harder. And that is true. And fuck you. And
my actually, it's funny because my mom made me do that. Except I didn't have to do it with. It wasn't hitting my body. It was hitting my face with my helmet on.
Oh, you got to wear a helmet.
I got to wear a helmet. Luckily, and
Nathan millennials
just starts chucking at my head. I had a goalie coach, and he would just peg him as hard as he could in my face. And every time I blink, I'd have to move out of the way, and he would throw it at me. So I get to protect. But the minute I get the blink, I have to go get a hit on my body. So I had to keep going back. Yeah,
that's amazing.
But those things also help define you who you are today. You could overcome that. You can overcome a lot of things.
Everything 100%. You go through, it happens for a reason. Yeah. It'll continue to redefine you. And like you said in the beginning of us sitting down talking, you've created where you are today. So all those memories and all those things that happened have led you to this situation, good or bad. That's how you're here. So if shit's hitting the fan, like, recognize that you've led yourself here and don't play the victim in that sense. Get ready and just take that as a sign to move forward. And this is your chance. Like, this is your sign to stop digging your hole deeper, and we are extending the ladder to you to now come up. Like, we have just take the first step, like we like to say. Just go out there and just start digging your hole the other way. Start going up, because it's only going to get harder if you allow it to. But you can change it right now and start that journey and that success. And to that point, you were talking about reading and doing all that. Is there any books or anything you would recommend to anyone out there who's trying to, I'm gonna try waking up tomorrow morning early and learning something new?
I would start with The Obstacle is the Way, which I think kind of talks about the little obstacles that happen in life. It's a great book by Ryan Holloway, I think his name is. Very easy read, good. It does bring in a lot of stoicism, ancient wisdom, and ancient philosophy into like the mindset of like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus. Yeah, that guy.
Say it. That's why I write it. Epictetus.
And it really teaches you how to look at that obstacle, that roadblock, that negativity in a positive light and spin it and realize that all those are just here to enrich you and make you better. And then you start really appreciating it. Yeah. And that would be the first book I would recommend for me, as well as the Daily Stoic Journal. Yeah. And get up every morning and journal.
And would you say, like, not that someone should choose one or the other, but would you say, like, if someone did have to choose, should they start journaling or they should start reading something new? Should they learn something new, or should they start defining their day and ending their day?
Personally, in my own opinion, if you're going to pick one, I would start journaling.
Okay. And how would you start journaling for those? Because I don't journal.
So for somebody that's never journaled, I would say get the Daily Stoic Journal. And I mean, I get nothing out of it, but it gives you each week. It gives you a paragraph of some ancient philosophy
each day.
Well, in the very beginning, in the beginning of the week, it gives you a page of some ancient philosophy. The lesson you're going to work on this week. Yep. And then it gives you like 3 or 4 quotes from an ancient philosopher. And then each day it gives you a topic, whatever the topic is, and then you write about it in the morning and afternoon. The only thing I would say to people when you're journaling is journal from the heart, as if nobody's reading it, as if it's really happening. And
don't lie to yourself.
Right, don't lie to yourself, because you're doing this to get it out on paper and to put it out into the universe. And don't write it as if, I want to write this down because when I die, my kids are going to read it.
See, I find myself sometimes writing stuff that, like, I'm writing it as the point of, like, I hope one day in 1,000 years someone finds this journal, and, like, it's like but then I think you told me, and now I try to write just like me.
This is for you. This isn't for anybody. Exactly. That's my opinion.
And I think that's why these books that we study are studied, because they weren't writing this for someone to find. They were writing this because that's how they were viewing their life.
Yeah, and some of these ancient leaders like Marcus Aurelius and these other people, they're leading Rome. Mm-hmm. They're in the middle of battles, famine. They're leading millions and millions of people, but yet every night they stop what they're doing. They shut the war off. They sit quietly and peacefully, and they put down all their thoughts and they journal and realize that the world is bigger than what's going on here. it's an interesting thing to do, but you gotta bring it up from the heart and really be honest with yourself, like you were saying. Otherwise, it's just a crock of shit, and you're going through the motions.
Yeah.
And then why do it if you're just doing
it
to do it?
And if you really do it right, you'll find you're much calmer the next day, and you sit back and you look, you're like, God, I yelled at the cashier today just because she was taking 3 extra, or I maybe I didn't yell, I got angry, or man, the guy did take 10 extra minutes at the deli today, and I was all pissed off, but maybe he just got a phone call that something happened at home, and I didn't think that, and it kind of gives me a chance to go back and reflect and really look at what I did good and bad, and how do I improve it the next day to be a better person.
Yeah,
exactly.
Sorry, I know I'm babbling, guys.
No, that's an awesome point, and I like it because it's like everyone's going through their own thing, so it's like that's why I always like to challenge people, like when you're in a scenario where like something's taking too long, and it's like, yo, what the, like, oh, me, like I have to go do this, like, or you're stuck behind a car, like why the fuck is this car driving so slow? I need to be at work in 2 minutes. Dude, that person's in front of you, they don't have to be anywhere, they're just chill, like they're in their own mind, and you got to understand that like not everyone is in your world, in your perception. So staying patient and just like the cold showers, like I always say, that's why it brings me back to that cold shower, because I don't want to be there. I don't want to deal with slow drivers. I don't want to deal with assholes and annoying people. I don't want to deal with waiting too long, and I don't want to deal with cold water. But you have to, because it's life, and you're surrounded by
all day
it.
long.
Yeah. So again, I challenge everyone to get in the cold shower tomorrow morning. Justin, you too. You fucker.
Yeah, me too.
He'll be getting in the cold shower tomorrow if I have to wake his booty up to make sure he does it.
I will too.
How are we on time right now?
I probably will
You
too.
guys,
We're running about an hour and 7 minutes.
Okay, so we're getting close. I got a question that I ask everybody. So I don't know if you guys have anything yet, but I just wanted to jump into it then, because usually I ask in the beginning, but we were going on.
Yeah, no worries.
How do you define success?
I've been waiting for this question.
now or how I did?
That's a good
Both.
question.
So in the past, this is a great question, and I know you ask this every time, and I was like thinking when I got invited to the show one day, if I ever did, I'd have a chance to think about it, but I can't spur the moment here. So definitely
never be prepared. Just say it.
When I was younger, and by younger I mean before this recent transformation, I definitely defined my success by how much money I had in the bank, the car I drove, and very materialistic. Did I have enough money in the bank? Was and that's what really drove me. Now, honestly, I define my success by how much good I did in the world in that day, and did I spread some love and positivity, and did I try my best to be a good example for my kids in the world, and that's how I'm going to define my success from now on, and that's just how I'm going to take it personally. I don't care about anything else anymore. I care about it because I need money to eat and whatever, but it'll never define who I am again, and I'll never let it define me. And I don't care what people think.
So money does not buy happiness, to your point.
Not a chance in hell.
Okay, you heard it here first.
Yeah, and you know what?
It does, however, make life in this society much easier.
I can agree.
It decreases a lot of your stress and worries. And if you don't have good mind control, those stress and worries will bring you unhappiness. But just because you got a new Jaguar or a new Tesla, that shouldn't make you happy. It should make you proud. I busted my hump, and I worked my butt off for it. But I know plenty of homeless people. Can I have two? I got a cool story to tell you that it really happened last week. And I had a patient that came into the office last week and was referred by a chiropractic friend of mine and said, hey, I got a buddy that's got to fly back to the Bahamas. He can't get to the airport, his low back's so screwed he can't walk. Yeah. Can you just hook him up? And I'm like, yeah, send him by. So I wasn't going to charge the guy. He was a chiropractic friend of mine, and hooked the guy up. So the guy comes in and I'm treating him, and he couldn't walk. And long story short, I got him better, and he stood up. He's like, man, I feel great. I can get to the airport now. Like, cool, what time's your flight? He's like, well, whenever I get there, I got my own jet. I'm like, what? And I looked at his watch. It was a $140,000 Rolex. That's his regular watch. Every day, he's just like hanging out. He's like, yeah, I got another one in my suitcases. Whatever, if I lose it, who gives a shit? And I'm like, well, drop it, dude. We don't freaking care. And turns out he's got, what he does for a living is he charters yachts and jets.
Wow.
Not the middleman. He outright owns a fleet of yachts and a fleet of jets. He also has a island in the Bahamas with a house with 3 100-foot docks with 3 different yachts in each one of the docks. And, he showed me and his assistants there, and they show me all this, and I'm just like, my jaw's on the fucking floor. Like, I thought your dad did great. I aspired to be like your pops. I'm like, dude, you were like my hero. What the? I'm like bowing down to this dude. I'm like, you were the luckiest son of a bitch I ever met. Like, what do you do? And he's like, yeah, it's fucking great. I wish I had a chance to enjoy any of it. I go, what do you mean? He goes, I'm so busy working. I never get to do anything except work. And I'm like, why don't you fucking quit?
Yeah.
You won. Like, the house is paid for, the boats are paid for. He's, no, I got to keep going. I need more. And I'm like, good luck with that, buddy. Like, and it just hit me and reinforced again that here's a guy that, dude, your watch is worth more than a lot of people's homes.
Yeah.
And you're still working?
And it's all
for what?
And it's all probably just perspective, because like we look at it as like, dude, this guy is the luckiest guy in the world. He's loaded. His watch is like, but that guy looks at it and he's not looking at us. He's looking up. He's looking at people who have more than him. And it's to the point the grass is always greener. And it's why I'm trying to find, like, not defining happiness, your life, your money, like, or your success on that materialistic value. Because if you define it on success, on accomplishing and reaching the goals you set out to do, you'll never be satisfied, because you'll continue to either never reach them, or B, reach them and set new goals because you're not satisfied.
Yep.
So yeah, but it's a hard thing. I feel like when you get to the point where you have all that money and you have all those yachts and you have everything, like, how do you step away from it? And now
I think in the beginning, it's very difficult to have it and let go of it with that mindset. It's much easier to obtain it with the mindset of, I like to have it, but it's not what's going to define me. And also realizing that memento mori, one day you're going to die, and you're not taking any of it.
Nope.
And I've had a lot of friends pass, as many of us have, and I've never been in a hospital or a hospice and talked to someone in their deathbed. It was like, fuck, I wish I had another $1. Just one more $1. That's all I needed.
It's more life.
More life. It's more experience. It's more love. It's more a better relationship with a loved one, a family, a friend. And that's what you hear. So why just do that when you're retired and you're old? Why not start doing that crap now and living that life now? And the other stuff will come. Because you've projected all the goodness into the world. That's my belief.
It's like,
that's awesome.
You talked about my dad. Like, I remember one of the stories that he told me was because my dad had a Lamborghini. You guys remember it?
Your dad saved this family, and I if you have a minute, I'll touch on that, because this was back in after my.
You talking about my family, or
your dad saved my family?
Oh, well, I didn't know that.
So I'm going to hit on it real fast, if you don't mind.
Yeah. Well, here.
Go ahead.
So my dad was pulling up in his Lamborghini one day, and he looks to his left, and there's two younger people pointing their phones out of the car, taking pictures. My dad's sitting in his Lambo, and he's going, is this what I did it for? Is this right here what, like, all the shit that I've been through, all the work that I've done, is this the moment I was really wanting? And then, like, he took a step back, and that's when he unfortunately passed away, when he finally started moving towards that direction.
And he realized what was really important in life.
Exactly.
And I use that. I do draw on that sometimes, and I'm like, shit, you know what? I do miss the materialism, because I do. I'm not going to lie. I miss taking the family on vacations and just buying you guys whatever you want. But, you know, and I draw on how your dad transformed. But after I went and fell off the roof and I was trying to get back to work, you guys were all playing hockey, and your pops and I were pretty tight. And I was trying to figure out, how am I going to start up again? And your dad saved me. He saved my family, because he gave us an opportunity. He let me come in with a portable adjusting table, portable chiropractic table, and I went to his office.
I remember.
And once a week, I treated the entire staff, whoever wanted to. And that is how this family got back on its feet. It was because of your dad that this family is still surviving today. And that helped pull me out of the gutter right there, because of your pops. And that I won't forget. And that will always be there for you.
That's crazy.
Your dad saved his family.
It's a beautiful story, and it's the ripple effect, like we touched on. And it's another cool one. Like, he didn't just give you a handout. He didn't just say, like, Harley, like, you're a personal friend of mine. Here's the money. Do what you need to do. He gave you an opportunity.
He gave me a hand up, a chance, an opportunity.
He said, brother, let me help you.
Absolutely. And actually, if he would have just given me a handout, it wouldn't mean anything, because Kabbalah calls it the bread of shame, like getting something you don't really deserve. To me, like when you guys played hockey, you were goalie. So if I would guarantee every game's going to be a shutout, that's it. How much fun is it to go play?
Nope.
Every time you shoot the puck, it's going in. Well, after a while, it would get boring. Like, this is no fun anymore. So you got to have that challenge and obstacle, and work and earn it, or your soul's not fulfilled.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah,
100%. So much knowledge. If the viewers do not have a booklet filled of steps and tools to use to better their life, you need to rewind the video, give us another view, and watch it again.
Yeah, and to touch on that, I mean, hey, it went full circle. Because now you're here on our podcast helping us. Wow. And not only that, I really do mean it when I say it. That book that you gave me, literally helped change my life. I swear.
That's awesome.
It was. I'm so happy I got
Success,
that thing.
everyone.
Yeah, that's
Check
the
that
other
book
book.
Yeah, we'll link them in the bio.
Obstacle is the way.
The obstacle is the way.
The obstacle is the way, and
it's not in the way. It is the way.
The obstacle is the way, and rhinoceros is success. Man, it's been just an awesome episode. Seriously, it's always a great time having you here. Before we go and we start to wrap things up, we didn't talk much about the chiropractic care, but for anyone looking for any chiropractic relief down in South Florida, where can they find you and where can they learn some more information if they're unfamiliar with what that is and the benefits and really the help they are missing out on or where they can come to find you?
My practice right now is in Deerfield Beach, 954-246-3336. That's not obviously why I came here, but for me, chiropractic is great. It's a way that I get to help people and keep people in a holistic or natural mindset by helping the body heal. I know it's a whole nother topic and it would take a while to really dive into it, but
you have an Instagram page that will be linked
there. Dr. Harley Bofshever. You can go right on there and ask me any question, ask me anytime. I'd love to talk to people. Anything I could do to help anyone with knowledge of nutrition, health, whatever, anything I could do to help the world in any positive way, please, I'm here. I just want to serve.
Yeah.
Well, we love it. Was there anything else you wanted to add to the rest of today's episode?
Man, I'm honored that you guys actually thought to bring me here, and hopefully I gave some knowledge and
I learned a lot.
It was enjoyable, and I'm definitely want an extra copy of the opening of what my son said about me.
I'll send it to you. Yeah,
that would be a great card. That was awesome. Just and I'm really honestly, I'm honored to be here, and I've been watching it, and like I said, I've known you your whole life, but I've known you forever, and
I've known you for a very long time.
No, but I know the journey you've taken.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I know the hard journey that you've taken, and even on my end, watching this show every week and seeing three young adults doing what they want to do, whether anybody's watching it, not watching it, you really don't give a crap. No. You're out here doing what you do, and no bullshit. There's days that I don't want to get out of bed, and I'm like, I flip on the Instagram, and there's been a couple of days where I'm like, normally I don't do any social media, anything for the first few hours, but there's times you might skip a shower and I'm like, fuck it, social media. And I'm like, and I see the thing of the Boothe and I'm like, I got to get my ass up. I got to send a Snapchat to my son, hitting my feet hitting the floor at 5:30, which I send him.
Yeah, he does.
Every morning a Snapchat when I get up.
I'm going to be up with him.
When I get up every morning, I send a Snapchat to verify what time I am up in the book I'm reading and what I'm doing every freaking day.
We need the cold shower. We need him in the cold shower.
Get back in the cold shower.
So you guys do inspire me. And I get to draw off of that, and I love the path you're on, and I hope you continue to go down that road, journal, and start really exploring some ancient philosophy. There's some really, really cool stuff out there. Ask a lot of questions and be inquisitive and never be satisfied with the moment, and always strive to do better. Definitely. And just spread fucking love in the world.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks, man. This is awesome.
Like I said in the beginning, you are really an inspiration to me, and I hope you definitely had the chance today to inspire some people. So I hope that some people got inspired and
that would be great.
Really did enjoy today's episode. Was there anything you guys wanted to say before I wrap it up?
Pretty much. Honestly, I want to say really quick that I didn't really know your story very much, and after hearing it, 100%, I'm ready for Monday.
Let's go. The autobiography.
I'm ready. Seriously,
it never seemed important to me to tell people that would seem to me like playing the victim role again.
Well, don't take it that way. We're here to, like I said,
no. This is a different environment, but you've known me your whole life, and you've never heard any of that crap.
No,
you didn't know any of that.
I wouldn't even have guessed it. The way that you acted around us when we were kids. I would have never guessed that you were ever struggling at any point.
And it goes to show
some serious mental struggles fighting. Yeah. I fought a lot of demons in a lot of dark places. I pulled out.
Yeah. No, definitely. It just goes to show that everyone is going through something. And stop hating people. Spread love. Spread kindness. And once again, I really appreciate you coming on today. It's been an honor. And I hope everyone really enjoyed today's episode. Before I sign off, I just wanted to give a quick congratulations to episode 2 guest, our first guest we ever had on, someone I consider a brother, that we all consider a brother, someone who I specifically remember manifesting this with months ago. Just I want to give a huge congratulations to Nico Blatchman on signing his first pro contract.
Congratulations, Nico.
For those of you who don't know his story, go check his Instagram.
Go listen to episode 2.
Episode 2.
That is inspirational.
But
seriously,
dude, we will talk about it more. But manifested this goal, and he is working his way to the NHL. Just signed with the Florida Everblades. So check him out. Thank you everyone so much for tuning in to episode 7. I hope you have an amazing week. Go out there, spread some love, live your dreams, and just enjoy what you do. Thank you guys, and have a great night.
Woo! Woo! Whatever, pop.
Other way. Woo woo.